welcome old friends and new to this beautiful day, feast day of Mary Magdalene and the Divine Feminine. And if there are any others in the waiting room, I will certainly let you know. If you would like to mute during the channeling and announcements time, then we will unmute and have a Reiki and healing session with the rose energy at the end, calling upon Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, and Jesus. And those are the three that stepped forth today, and also a little bit of Princess Diana. So I am Marcia McMahon, and I've written Mary Magdalene Speaks. And for those of you that aren't familiar with my work, I will share the picture of the book. Got a lot of messages and artwork up here. I guess I need to clean my desk, but I had to get the rose from the garden. Can you all see the rose? So there's 3 roses for the Trinity. And this is my published work, Mary Magdalene Speaks, the Grail, the Bloodline, and the Secrets of the Divine Feminine. And we're going to learn about some more secrets that have been as yet to be revealed. And it's a very loving energy that I'm tuning into today. And I'm sure that all of you gathered here will be able to feel that love conveyed from the Marys as we go forth. And, you want to put yourself in a very meditative mood. And if you have a quartz crystal or a rose crystal or anything to remind you, I also do hand make my handmade rose oil that I use. I soak the roses from my garden, and then I make a combination of rose absolute oil plus the rose water for sacred anointing, and it does come from the sacred well in Glastonbury. So the feast day is a day of celebration and a day of the peace of the rose healing. Today is July 22nd, the official feast day of Mary Magdalene, and we're here to restore Mary Magdalene to her rightful place as co-teacher with Jeshua and leader of the divine feminine way of mastery on the inner planes. And so healing for ourselves and the world will be sent out. And just try to put yourself in the most relaxed and peaceful place. And I will also like to mention at the head of the channeling that I'm planning to host a Divine Feminine retreat coming up in mid-September in New Harmony, and that's Indiana. And Diana has described that sacred place, and many of you who belong to the Circle of the Rose have seen pictures of New Harmony, and they have immense numbers of sacred walks, galleries, rose gardens. There's a roofless church, and that has the seraphim and cherubim on the top, and it was well endowed by this lady, Jane Owen. And when I was visiting there, I connected to the collective consciousness of New Harmony. And they have some very high master guides that are guiding New Harmony's retreats. It's an art center, and it's also a spiritual center. And it's non-denominational. And they have, the energy is blessed by a lot of the Catholic priests. And Thomas Merton was there at one time. So he's part of the collective. But it's just the perfect place to do a retreat. We're planning about mid-September. And if you can come, that would be wonderful. If not, that's wonderful that you came to this Zoom here. And I'm being instructed to ground more of the divine feminine energy. So hold that in your thoughts and prayers to see it out picture the gathering of women and men, welcome to attend the retreat. I've already located one old house that looks very appealing, historic place, and it's very reasonable and looks very friendly. And then we would need to rent a second place. And the New Harmony Inn is also a very lovely place. So also, I am going to offer a past life regression, collective regression, for those of you that feel you had a past life with Jesus or Jeshua. And that will be done in a collective meditation and Zoom conference call in the next couple weeks, though that will be posted in the Circle of the Rose, and you can sign up for it. And it's very reasonable. And if you feel a connection to Jesus and feel that you might have had a past life with him or with one of the Marys, it would make sense for you to find out more about your soul's history and connect. And it's a very safe method. I've been certified through the National Guild of Hypnotists for over 15 years, and I enjoy offering hypnosis to people. So in this message, we are concentrating on highlighting relationships of Jesus's family with Mary Magdalene, his wife, Sara, his daughter, and I'm also being instructed to bring in the chakra system and the Kundalini energy and raising it to the divine heart of both Mary and Jesus. And as I touched into my heart, they gave me a little download of the rose energy. So just as a prelude to the channeling, connect your heart to Jesus' sacred heart and Mary's sacred heart as they work together to heal any wounds or any concerns or worries, any fear, anything at all that might be on your heart, and release them to the divine higher energies and healing potential of the great Mary Magdalene. And now, if you want to mute yourselves or just remain silent, I will go forward with the message from Mary Magdalene and Jesus and Mother Mary and Diana today. So I'm calling in the energy of Jeshua and the healing guides in the celebration for the Magdalene energies and the feast day of Mary Magdalene, July the 22nd. We send comfort to your heart today, my friends, for you have worked long in the vineyards and been an excellent representative of the word and the way. And they're speaking to me of your book, but they're praising all of you as well, as you all are healers and stand in the sacred divine feminine energy. And they're saying to me, I was painting at the Ursuline Academy this week, and they were commenting on my painting, saying that there was no accident that you tuned into the old school, that you taught at Ursuline, and the statue of the Sacred Heart of Jeshua displaying the Sacred Heart. So I'll show you my little sketch. I didn't get very far with it, but this was a Catholic school that I taught at. You notice, if you look carefully, how feminine Jeshua looks. It almost looks like a female rather than a male. So that enters into this conversation. It is true, Jesus says, that his Sacred Heart will heal. And Mary says her Sacred Heart of love, for we are intertwined in the heart of the sacred chakra system. If you would imagine the image of the Kundalini snake at the chakra system at the base of the spine, intertwined of both lovers, female and male, in any case, lovers joining at the base and going up and bringing the Kundalini up every step of the way into the heart chakra, intertwining the heart chakra, which is the great joy that humans can enjoy. We encourage you, if you are in sacred relationship, to follow this path of love, which we did on the earth plane very briefly. And then that is how I came to birth my beloved daughter, Sara. Sara will be working with you in future regressions once you open her up and work with her. You worked with another soul aspect of Sara, and this is too another soul aspect. We encourage and invite others to open their heart chakra to the ascended master Sara, who is very little known and has been repressed for centuries by the church as well. The sacred energy that is housed at the Church of Saint Marie de la Mer contains much of the Sara energy, who is a gypsy and was hiding much of her life due to the fear of persecution of the Romans at that time. So again, you can look up at the poster that I made, and this is the statue that the gypsies worship and come to. Each May, they have a festival at Saint Marie de la Mer, which is where the ship supposedly landed, housing the female disciples, the male disciples, Magdalene and her child. And they made Sara into the gypsy queen to disguise her identity. And she was said to be very dark. So, you know, she was born in Egypt and they landed in France. And then it's legendary for the Romani gypsies to come and worship Sara at that shrine. There's yet more to be revealed about that particular place. The sacred energy that is housed at the Church of Saint Marie de la Mer contains much more of the Sara energy, who is a gypsy and was hiding much of her life due to the fear of the Romans. Can you, Mary, comment on the ministry and mission of the Magdalene and how many gospels she has written years ago, and mention anything about that gospel that was found in one of her caves? We do feel that she is buried somewhere in a location, but we will not reveal the location of where Mary Magdalene might be buried for fear of treasure hunters and grave diggers. We do feel the priest that was in charge of the parish at Saint Marie de la Mer found bones possibly belonging to Sara, but they would be conveniently stashed away and lost in the archives of the Vatican at this point if they found them. Yet, on the other hand, they may have been discovered by the Knights Templar in Jerusalem. And of course, you know, the Knights Templar were famed for discovering hidden treasures belonging to the sacred bloodline. And that's why they were eventually persecuted, among many other reasons. For their cachet was extensive, and they were hunted and persecuted. But now in this age of openness, I would expect that many more revelations would come to light about my sacred places, teachings, and writings. For I do feel that there is one manuscript that is still uncovered and undiscovered or deeply hidden, possibly in the archives of the Knights Templar. I call them my knights. It would indeed be great if you could make a journey both to England and Scotland and visit the motherland, the birth of democracy, and the sacred lineage of the Rose at Rosslyn Chapel in the Templar estate there. In time, you will connect with people who do wish to travel with you, and it would be nice to soon set it up as soon as possible, but first you must get in shape. We do find you are learning new methods to overcome side effects and using your healing that have been revealed to you, so you will be well enough and stronger in time to make the travel and journey possible. We wish to send out our love, heart of love today for all listening, both male or female, that you know that you are in the goddess energy, balancing the male and female energies in personal relationships as well as societal, relationships. Despite the appearance of some women's setbacks in the United States, and also particularly in the Middle East, where women have endured great hardship and persecution from the male patriarchy, particularly in Afghanistan and other Arab countries. Joshua also taught the equality of men and women, and he also taught that all of our sexual expression, both male and female, expresses within us. So we are both. And he taught in a very high masterly way that divine masculine possesses divine feminine attributes, and likewise the divine feminine embodies the divine masculine attributes. And as an enlightened master, he was able to transform himself from a masculine to a feminine energy master and appear in feminine form. This is documented in some of the secret teachings. And Magdalene was able to understand the advanced teaching of the male and female energies. There are other secrets yet to be revealed in my past life regressions with others, and we'd like to ask you to offer suggestions for a past life regression with Jesus for a group regression, and help those that are still searching for their past lives, and also those that are curious to work individually in regression and find some of the more hidden secrets that are being mentioned today. We wish to highlight that the rose energy is the energy of the heart, and it also stands for the holy bloodline. So I ask you to just pause for a moment and again receive the download of the sacred rose energy as I hold out my hand in healing and peace to all of you gathered here today. And receive, I can smell those roses, they are heavenly, and receive the heavenly blessing of peace to your heart and let it penetrate every chakra. I myself, Magdalene, stand as a perfected form of the divine feminine, who is both a mother, a lover, a teacher, and is what you're all called to be in this group. You're all called to heal the woundedness of centuries of the persecution of women and the patriarchy, which is still so prevalent. We need to return to matriarchal societies and matriarchal forms of leadership, while still retaining the divine masculine in respect and in balance. That is why we see so many wars on the planet. Now we ask all of you again to turn within and send out, you may hold up your hands if you wish to send out love to these troubled areas for healing, for the Ukrainian people are suffering greatly, as well as the Russian people. And the need for war is really almost over, as the people don't want it in either country, nor do Americans particularly want more war. And now I turn this over to Princess Diana and her message, also focused on the heart of love and her ascension energies that she wishes to impart. So please just continue to hold out your hands and receive Diana's ascension energies today. And she says, I, Diana, come forth with the gentlest love today, for everyone is open to hearing my voice, and I receive my blessing of the rose. I am united with Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary as we heal in our groups, and I wish to commend your fine work with both channeling and past life regression as you continue the lineage of my message of world peace. And we ask all today to hold in their thoughts and send peace to the regions of the Ukraine and Ukrainian people, for their suffering is so great. And if you can find it in your hearts to make a donation of some money to the charities that are set up for hunger, we would highly recommend it. For the developments in recent news have only complicated matters worse by sending in more devastating weapons, and then Russia cutting off grain supplies to Africa, which is going to cause further famine. The world is heating up in temperature as well, and we see that many are suffering the world over from the temperatures. So we ask you to send out healing to the world for the earth changes and for the free energy. This is something I'm adding in. This is not what she said. I must clarify. For the free energy that is hiding in the wings to be made more available to people so that we do not see the world heating up so greatly. And then she speaks, the world is heating up in temperature, There are many suffering from the earth changes, but we assure you that the new earth is being formed in like-minded communities and grounded in the retreats. As you move forward in your beautiful work with myself and Mother Mary, we can only hold the light for the dear friends and all the people suffering in the world. It cannot be immediately erased, but know that in time there is new divine earth imprint, and it will take form much quicker with the help of prayers and correct diplomatic involvement. I encourage you to look into Marcia's books with me, from Love from Diana, Queen of Hearts, and Princess Diana's Message of Peace. And I'll hold those up for just a brief moment. For those still hold all the answers to the war and divisiveness that can be healed through diplomatic means. So let me get the books. I'll share with you a little bit about these books. This was the first book published, Princess Diana's Message of Peace, and it is a collectible item. All the illustrations were mine, and in fact, the photos were taken at her funeral. My parents attended Diana's funeral quite by accident, and it's an awesome book of her correspondence with people in the State Department about what to do after the September 11th attack. And then this one, with Love from Diana, Queen of Hearts, Messages from Heaven for a New Age of Peace. And this has also been on Amazon a long time. It's available through me, and if you would like a signed copy, you can let me know. And I need to reorder some of my books. I have a few copies left of Diana's Message. They're beautifully illustrated, and she speaks on a number of topics, messages about heaven, what she does on the other side, messages to her sons, and most importantly, messages that went out to the diplomats that would have solved the so-called war on terror and prevented the war in the Middle East. So I know it was heard, but it wasn't particularly put into action. Just know I'm returning to Diana now. So just know that I'm the Princess of Love, and whatever you ask in my name, I will come in an instant to be there for you as a Queen of Hearts. And I pause to let you absorb this healing, loving energy from Diana. I can feel it flowing, and I hope that you can too. Feel her love. And now, Mother Mary will be coming forth, and I ask you to tune in to the Divine Mother Mary. And I call upon Mother Mary. And she's saying, I am revered in the heavens and the earth, for I am the mother of all people. And I thank you for the great reverence that I've been shown throughout the world with the many churches and the statues and all the people that call upon me. But I wish to remind our listeners today that Mary Magdalene, my sister and my daughter-in-law, be held in such fine esteem as she needs to be held up as a beacon of light in this terrible time of earth. Know that I am with you throughout your trials, and whatever you pray for today, I will answer your prayer directly. I come through with the healing, with the rose, and the artistic inspiration. Whatever it is you're looking for and needing, just please ask. I am Divine Mother, Mother Mary, and I'm healing you now, for I am everywhere and I'm for everyone. I love you all equally, and I send out my rose of love for you personally. I am Mother Mary, Divine Mother. And then I have a statue that I found on the altar that I would like to share with you. And this is Mother Mary of the Sea. Can you see it? So we're talking about Saint Marie de la Mer, and she's got 2 seashells for angel wings, and she's covered in shells. And I bought that years ago, and I just love that. And I think of it as Mother Mary, or possibly even Magdalene, because Magdalene is also associated with the sea. So I will stop the recording, and then we will get to our business of sharing prayer requests and healing. And you can feel free to, in just a moment after I stop the recording, feel free to share. Now, I want to thank all of my listeners on the YouTube station for tuning in, and remind you to subscribe and join the group Circle of the Rose on Facebook, where we share these wonderful messages and updates monthly, and where you can tune in to some of my channeling and messages.